Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council members. They already left. So here's the questions that you should have asked and didn't, if you don't mind me saying so. We have already 2 services in that corridor paid by the taxpayer. They've introduced, as they mentioned, the 501 in February of 2016. The 549 run by LADOT has been around a number of years. So the first question that one should ask is, how are they doing? How could they do better? Do we need to spend $267 million to do what these services are already doing? Will it be such a huge improvement, in fact, to invest this money, or is it going to be just a bit more of the same? How on earth can you actually spend that much money on a bus system? They implemented the 501 in a couple of weeks. They threw up some bus stops and got some buses from somewhere and got some drivers. How much did that cost? How much better can they do? They're running a bus every 20 minutes in that corridor, 15-minute headways, I think, in the rush hour. How much better could they do with $267 million? I don't think they need this. I think this is like a solution in search of a problem. Because I tell you, having been around this transit stuff for a long time, and you guys see what goes on, 700,000 car trips may look like a lot of car trips. You go down to that freeway, oh, look at all that traffic. How do we actually convert that to transit? How successful have we been so far with all the other investments that we've made in converting that to transit? I would ask you to monitor this very, very closely. They want to come down Alameda maybe, and what are they going to do? They're going to stripe it? They're going to put up some more fancy bus stops? How are they going to coordinate this with what's already there? How are we going to fit this into our existing traffic patterns? Let me tell you the other thing that they've done. I didn't do a lot of notes, so I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. But if you go down now to Alameda, to Buena Vista and Alameda, we've now got 5 bus services that come through that intersection. The 155, 549, 501, and 2 Burbank bus routes. What we really need is not somebody saying, let's build some BRTs and let's find the best place to build one. What we really need is a real close look at the needs. How do we get people from one place to another? Not just try and think, how can we use this latest technology or this latest idea? Finally, close to finally, I don't trust Metro to deliver anything anymore, I'm sorry. We had a state and federal funded rail project which would have helped us improve passenger rail service through the San Fernando Valley. It's the good old Raymer-Burnson double track. And Supervisor Kuhl and Supervisor Antonovich and all the other worthies on the Metro board chose to cancel it because of a small amount of local opposition. That would have revolutionized our passenger service here. Right now, yesterday at our Transportation Commission, we're discussing the fact that ridership on the Metro, on our Burbank bus to the media center is down 50% from its high 5 years ago. Down 50%. And a lot of that is due to deteriorated Metrolink service. So if they can just, at the drop of a hat, cancel on an important project for our combined Metrolink and Burbank bus service, I just don't trust them to deliver anything anymore. Now, they want to bring in a sales tax. And I'm a transit advocate. I'm a passenger rail advocate. They want to raise more money to spend more money on transit. What's their record on what they've done already? Secondly, what about what I learned when I was this high, the law of diminishing returns? You can't keep raising taxes and expect people to keep on. They're going to try and avoid paying those taxes by buying out of state or finding other ways to avoid paying sales tax. So I'm sorry, but right now, I don't see anything much for Burbank in this proposition. I think that we've been really sold down the river by Metro a couple of times. But I think more important than that, we really need to look in detail at what we want and not just look one project at a time and say, this is Jim Crack stuff. We can, this is the latest thing. We're going to have fancy signs. Go back to my first premise. What is $267 million going to do better than what we've already got with the existing services? Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Dyson. Next speaker is